What's going on, my peoples? It's your boy Kenny, man. I'm back one time for your mind. Y'all know how I do, people. Hit my theme music.
It was Tori. Tori shot me. Hey, yo, Ren, turn that up. Turn that up. Turn that
Whenever you ready, whenever you ready, whenever you ready, ain't had that love when you met me. Well, love with me can be deadly. Whenever you ready, I made that pain in my heart go. Whenever you ready, she make my heart be so steady. Whenever you ready, whenever you ready, to make my rainy days go. Whenever you ready, you make my heart so damn heavy. From all the tears that you shed me, the night that you left me, I made the pain in my heart numb. So whenever you ready, I'm still right here where you left me. Still waiting on you to text me whenever you ready to make that trip just to come home. Ready or not, is you ready? All on my own and shit scary. All my feelings got buried in that cemetery. I never thought your love was so cold. Matter of fact, you right, no wrong. I could've been answering my phone, but I was down at that yo, trying to get right for my folks. Put my pain in these songs. I'm trying to stay strong for all the ones that ain't gone. But you know murder, she wrote. Karma keep calling my phone. How the fuck I'm supposed to get home? So my best friend is this pole. I squeeze and let go for all the house for my soul. But you know I can't go. That's just the life that we live. Over time my heart got cold. My closet keep throwing fits. I was a bum and legit, wishing that I was much old. But I don't owe them boy shit. I walked alone with my blick, so who the fuck do I owe? Girl, for your love I do most. But you went and got ghosts, and I was down in my low. But I admit I was wrong. I was trying to show off, and won't you leave me alone? Whenever you ready, ain't had that love when you met me. Well, love with me can be deadly. Whenever you ready, I made that pain in my heart go. Whenever you ready, she make my heart be so steady. Whenever you ready, whenever you ready, to make my rainy days go. Whenever you ready, you make my heart so damn heavy. From all the tears that you shed me, the night that you left me, it made the pain in my heart numb. So whenever you ready, I'm still right here where you left me. Still waiting on you to text me whenever you ready to make that trip just to come home. Whenever you ready, I made that pain in my heart go.
All right, people. What's going on? What's popping? Let somebody that knows somebody to get up in the building. I'm back, people. So we got here. I ran past this. I don't even know how the fuck I ran past this, but I ran past this this clip, this video. And you know, there's a lot of static going on in the country with the Asians and the black people. I see what's going on, and it is what it is, man. I just wanted to just have a different perspective of just the notion of how black people perceive stuff. You know, how we perceive stuff. Like if you do certain things to certain black folks, we gonna look at things differently, people. It just is what it is. Like, black people look at stuff differently, just like Asian folks look at certain things differently. So you gotta watch what you say. You gotta watch how you how you act around certain black people and certain Asian people. You just, I mean, you know, it just is what it is. We're not the same. Our culture is very, very differently. We're raised differently, especially Black Americans. We are raised differently, even though our ancestors come from Africa. Black Americans is way different from our brothers and sisters from Africa. We got some brothers that's very very woke and understand and do the research of going back and learning about our history in Africa. But a lot of black people in America a lot of Black Americans has made their own. We have made our own culture in America. So we're very different from a lot of our brothers and sisters that's from Africa. But what has happened, what people need to realize about Asian Americans is that they come from a country where they are very dismissive of black people and they discriminate and they feel a certain type of way about black people. You know what I mean? And so, you know, and it's been taught generations after generations. Even this young generation that I'm gonna let y'all hear, a lot of these people that I'm gonna let y'all hear is Asian people that are very, very younger than I am. So it's a different generation than I am. You know what I'm saying? I come from a generation where I was raised around nothing but black folks, but that didn't make me. And I had bad interactions with different races of people outside of black folks, even with my own. But I don't treat people. I don't treat a race. I don't discriminate against a race, and I don't treat a race like badly or discriminate against them because I had a lot of bad interactions with their race. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? So we just need to do better out here, people. We got to do better. You know what I mean? That's all. But let's get into this.
Assumption that Asian Americans have about Black Americans is that we are violent, rude, lazy, that we don't like or respect them.
George Huang woke this morning to find his mini mall burned to the ground.
They just don't seem to have any respect for the black community.
If anything, I'm not sure if there's enough knowledge about the Asian American culture to have a misconception, if that makes sense.
One of the biggest things I wanted to address is how much anti-Blackness is rooted in our culture. Sometimes it's very subtle, but is very deeply rooted.
Latasha Harlins, a black teenager, is...
Thank you. And see, and listen. See, the problem is that a lot of people in different races don't understand that like black people, we treat people a certain type of way too. You get what I mean? But the thing about black folks, we invite anybody, man. We very open. We invite everybody because we kind of built a certain type of way through generations of allowing people to be a part of what we're doing, because we don't want to. We know how it feels to be discriminated against, and so we don't want that static. We don't want that bad energy and shit. We don't want to make you feel like you ain't welcome. You know what I mean? And you understand something about black people? Black people got a different type of sense of humor. Black Americans got a different type of sense of humor. So, like, real insulting shit that you may hear that we may say may not, it don't offend us that much. Like, if we're talking amongst each other, if we in a group or something like that, even if you in the group with us, we may not get that offended. But, you know, outside of us, our group, we gonna be very offended. We can say some real offensive shit, and you be like, damn, that shit ain't that real offensive? Like, ain't motherfuckers, shouldn't that be fighting words? But black Americans are built a certain type of way. But it's nice to hear that some Asian people understand that they got a bias towards black people. They've been raised that way to have a bias against black people. It just is what it is. We as black people, we don't have interactions with different races of people like that. The generation, you know, that's coming and younger than me, they may have had that, but motherfuckers my age and older, we don't have that much interactions with other races of people like that. We don't fool around. We're comfortable. Black people are comfortable with our people, but if we have to be around other people, we're fine with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying all of us, but a lot of us we okay with other races of people, and we can chill with them. But you know, it's just good to hear the sister, you know, this Asian sister say what she said.
Shot and killed by a Korean store owner.
I think they have a lot of the quote-unquote good stereotypes, and I feel like a lot of black people deal with a lot of bad quote-unquote stereotypes.
Their oppression, you know, is horrible, but Asian oppression is also horrible.
You know, Asian people just want to hang out with Asian people
First
only.
First of all, I want to make this very, very clear. No race outside of black people situation is worse than ours. It's just not. I just want to make that very, very clear. And it may seem on some arrogant shit, or we trying to play victim and shit. It's not that. The history is documented. The percentage of what goes on in this country. Black people are 10 times worse, going through 10 times worse of shit than any other race in this country. It's just a fact. It's nothing to sit here and try to compare. I don't like, that's one of the things I don't like. I don't like trying to compare our shit with the gay community or you know, far as like, you know, racism and shit, like what we go through in this country being discriminated against. It's no comparison to the Jewish community. It's no comparison to the Latino community, the Mexican community, the Pakistanians, the Muslims, and the Asian people. It's no comparison. None of you can compare your shit to ours. You just can't. It's not the same. And like I said, a lot of times, if these motherfuckers actually really did American history, I'm not just talking about black history, I'm talking about American history. If you really do American history, you understand that all these different races of people in this country will stop comparing that shit to ours. Stop trying to pretend that your shit is the same as ours. And I'm not saying they don't go through anything. I'm just saying don't compare your shit to ours. It's not the same. We're not the same in this country. We don't all get treated the same. It's just real talk. And like I said, you notice the thing through all this shit, all the pain, all the discrimination against the black and minority races. You know, the one defactor of that is usually the white supremacists. Not all of them, but they know who they are. Now, it's up to different races of people in the country, minorities in the country, and black folks in this country to choose to sell their souls to the white supremacists. You know, that's different. I ain't talking about those motherfuckers. I don't really care about them. I look at any race that sells out to the white supremacist system in this country. I look at them as no different than those white supremacists. They're the same. I don't consider them Asian American or Black American or minority. I don't consider them none of that. I consider those motherfuckers racist. They just blatantly racist. They are part of the white supremacists. So I shuns those motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck what race they come from. If they sell outs like that and they sell their own people out and they side with white supremacy, then hey, it is what it is. But let's move on.
Talk with them or whatever, sometimes they would just look at me and just like ignore me.
So I guess your girl is a fan now. Daily Harvest literally does all the work for you.
My name is Lynn. I'm 30 years old. I'm an actor, and I'm also unemployed.
My name is Faith. I'm 21, and I'm currently an apprentice for a hair salon.
Hi, I'm Tony. I'm 35, a digital marketer and a podcaster.
Hi, my name is Regina. I'm 29. I currently work as a data engineer.
Hi, my name is Taylor. I'm 25 and I currently work as a program assistant for a nonprofit.
What's up, y'all? My name is Joseph. I am 27, and I'm an actor, musician, activist, and looking for work.
Mind you, you gotta think about these are young folks, man. See, this is the future right here. I keep saying this is the future, and it's crazy that we, as OGs and older folks in the game, OGs in the game, that and as parents, you know what I'm saying, and as big brothers and uncles and shit, we done passed this hatred shit down to where these young kids gotta deal with this fuck shit. That's why I get so discouraged and so angry, because they shouldn't be going through none of this shit. It's a bunch of old motherfuckers out my age and up, you know, continue to keep going on with this racism shit. This shit is exhausting. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of time. These kids they looking for jobs and shit. They can't even get jobs because we got older people that's in positions of power in every race that's holding these fucking kids back from living their best lives. Then every one of them, I think maybe about 4 out of 6 all said they unemployed, they looking for work. Why is that? Because we holding them back. And now they got to sit on a panel and discuss racism when they shouldn't have to. This shit should have been dead a long time ago. But we, you know, this is the youth. The youth dealing with this shit, man. This shit is discouraging, man. Like, I'm highly offended. I'm just offended that these kids got to go through this shit. These motherfuckers, they not even in their 30s yet, yo.
Agree with the statement. I want you to step forward and take a seat. I care about being accepted by white America.
Being accepted in white culture.
Basically saying that they feel like they got to be accepted in white America culture, and I keep telling y'all that that's the biggest issue what goes on with minorities. It's a thing that they do, white society does to blacks and other minority people. They turn each other against each other. That's why I look. Listen, reason I know this shit happens because I look at my people. I ain't even got to go look at other cultures of people. I look at my own people. I look how they done turned our own people against we turned our own people against one another. I see it every day, all day. We do too much fighting amongst each other, then they sitting there killing us it's like a sniper shooting us from afar. Or they stand back and let us kill each other or let us hurt one another. And this is what white America does. I'm just telling you, systemic white supremacy in this country is real. These motherfuckers is brilliant at dividing people, of manipulating people. They are very good at it. And for some odd reason, we see this shit and we continue to keep falling for the dumb shit. And I'm not just talking about black people. I'm talking about all other minority people, all the other minority races people, all other races of people, even some white folks.
Means I guess I'm not like discriminated in a heavy way, and I think there is a level of comfort that I take in that. Not that doesn't mean I'm like going against like any other culture, but there is a comfort level, and I think it's a privilege that I have that I'm able to be looked that way.
Basically what he's saying is that he can hide there. What up, OG? He basically saying that it feels good to him that he can hide. he cannot get that. He don't have to feel the pain. He'd rather be a part of that white society to fit in, so he wouldn't get discriminated against. Because if he stood up for other minorities in the country or shit like that, took a stand against discrimination and shit like that against other races, other minorities and races of people in this country, then he felt like he gonna be targeted. So that's why he hides there. He hides. He needs to be accepted by them so they won't fuck with him. That's all that means. He hides over there and want their approval so they won't fuck with him. And I told you, that's what a lot of minorities in this country do. From all different races, they all do that. Even some coon ass niggas do that.
Minority.
Yeah, I think it's a sad reality that I have to sit here, literally only because I think currently white America runs our society and our system.
Right.
And in order for me to benefit myself, my family, I need to align with that sometimes. It actually gives me great anxiety when I step into a situation.
Time out. You want see? Listen, this is what I'm saying. What up, LT? This is what I'm saying about people. When I tell you, when y'all be thinking I be lying about it, I told you. These people know this shit. They know this. These different minority groups that sell out or be racist towards black people and side with white supremacy, they know. Those coons that be buck dancing and cooning, the Candace Owens of the world, the Brandon Tatums of the world, those niggas know that. They know the same thing this young lady is talking about. She knows that this white society, basically, if you don't rock with them sometimes, then you're going to be a victim. I'm telling you, they know this shit. That's why they sell out. That's why they see the injustice and they turn a blind eye to it. This shit real out here. This ain't no shit that black people be making up. We know this shit exists. We know how these people be thinking. The reason we know because some of our own people do it. What up, Frank? Trying to tell y'all, man. This shit is real out here in the field.
And I know I'm the only POC because then suddenly I am in my head.
And she gotta be politically correct. She gotta say the POC. You're a motherfucking minority. But anyway, let's move on, man. See what I mean? Listen, and I told you. Remember I told you. A part of this shit is about money, right? It's about getting paid. It's about that paper, right? But the other part is that they're afraid. When you see people sell out to these white supremacists and the white supremacy society, when you see this shit, that's because they scared. A lot of them don't want to do it, but a lot of them feel like they don't have no choice but to do it because they don't want to be targeted. They ain't got the balls to stand up. They scared. And they probably been raised that way too. Something triggered that. Nobody just wake up one day and sell out their own people and start discriminating against another people to side with another race. Jump on board to discriminate against another race. Come on, man. A lot of the times these minorities be selling out. They sell their own people out. Their own people be getting fucked. Like, think about this shit. When Trump was doing that corona, calling it the Chinese virus and all that shit, when he was doing all that shit, he knew what he was doing. You didn't even see Asian Americans standing up against Trump. They just kept talking about the hate crimes. Well, where the fuck you think the hate crimes is coming from? You notice if black people see some racist ass motherfuckers, some buck dancing motherfucking coons out there being racist or I ain't say racist, but you know, doing hateful shit, discriminating against somebody else. Black people, we don't speak up for those motherfuckers. We just let them be. We like, fuck them. They ain't one of us. We don't rock with them. Real black people don't rock with motherfuckers like that. So if you see a motherfucker out there walking up to Asian or Chinese people talking about, hey, shut your ass up, go back to where you come from and shit like that, we don't fuck with those motherfuckers. The nerve of a black person to tell another motherfucker race of person to go back where they came from. Be on some racist shit. Black people, real black people don't fuck with those motherfucking Negroes. We don't defend them. We just say, fuck them niggas, lock their ass up. Do what you got. Whoop their ass. We don't fuck with them. But you notice every other race, they defend these type of people. That's in their own race. They defend some shit like that. Black people don't do that. That's why I say there's no comparison of this bullshit of talking about black people doing hate crimes against Asians. It ain't. Stop. Stop. Stop.
How should I act to have a normal conversation? A lot of the times when I'm in a group setting when everybody's Asian, especially Asian people who only have Asian friends.
100%. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I get this weird feeling that now you're gonna label me as the white one. And I hate that because I'm not white. Yeah. It's just a really weird identity crisis.
It's the first time in my life I've heard someone say exactly what I've been feeling for my entire life. But yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
That's because you choose to go over there and fuck with those white folks. See, a part of this shit be about people not understanding that you don't have to stop trying to be so accepted by white society. Listen, when people sell out to white society, right? When you feel like they got it, if you're any race that you are, right? Other than white folks, like when you have to sell your soul, but not sell your soul, but when you have to feel like you gotta be a part of white society, what you do is alienate your own people. Because then your own people look at you like, oh, you don't fuck with us? Because we see you with those white folks all the time. And part of us know why you over there already. We ain't dumb. We know what's going on. We know you over there for the bag, or you over there because you scared because you don't want to get picked on. And then what the white society do to you? What did they do? What the white supremacists do? They use you as a token minority or token black person and put you out there in the forefront and make you out there talk against your own people. That's what they do. And they good at doing it. Because different minorities and black folks fall for that shit every time. So you can't be like, get mad at your own people because your own people looking at you sideways. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You don't have to change for them. Be yourself. Be who God created you to be. You Asian first. You Chinese first. You Mexican first. You Cuban first. You black first. You Muslim first. Whatever it may be. Whatever race you are. That's who you was born at. Have some pride into that. I don't give a fuck how much we know that white society is the most dominant society in America. We get that. We black. As a black man, I get that. As a black person, I get that. But I don't give a fuck about that shit. I'd rather keep fighting to where we get this shit equal. But I'm not selling out. I'm not going to try to fit in with these motherfuckers. I'm no follower. I'm willing to sit down and respect one another, but I'm not willing to change how I am, my blackness, to just fit in with white folks. I'm not doing that shit. But go ahead.
Can the disciplinarians please come forward?
I hope that you can release yourself from the shackles of that, because you're never going to be, and I understand, but you're never going to be accepted. That's how they've set this country up. And like, as a black woman, I gave up on that a long time ago because I know I'll never be accepted.
I grew up in a conservative white area. It was such a big difference where I was like, you know what? I'm going to be the blackest person ever.
And let me just say this, because I'm going to let the sister finish what she's saying. But you got to understand that. It doesn't matter what you do, that you still a minority. You still black. You know what I mean? You're a black person in this country. They don't give a fuck. They like to use people. And then they just like to use, I got black friends. I got Asian friends. I cannot be racist. That's the whole shit. And I'm not saying all white people are like that. I'm just saying about white society, period. It's like that. The country was built like this. It was built on the fucking bad behavior from some of these white supremacists. That's how America was built. That's why I never understand why these white people, some of these white people sitting here glorifying the forefathers. These bitches were slave owners. I don't give a fuck they created the Constitution. The Constitution wasn't created for any minorities other than white men. Only people that was getting a pass back in those days was white women. And they was getting mistreated. I don't understand. Like, history is a motherfucker. I guess people don't like history. I guess you can just say, you know what, I forget about how the system was built, because right now shit is just a little better. I get to go to the store, I get to eat with white people, but that don't mean that ain't no racism. They enslaved black people for years. For years, over 100-something years. Like, what the fuck? Like, how do you think that? And this is generation of people being generated. And then on top of that, you talking about Jim Crow and black people still ain't had no rights. Like, that shit goes along. Like, that was for a lot of fucking years. Hundreds of years this shit been like this. So all of a sudden we ain't even reached 100 years of where black people had all their rights. And somehow, some way, racism has gone. Think about how stupid that sounds. What up, Blue? But think about that. And you talking about generations of fucking people, or white racist ass people, teaching their kids after kids, after their kids, after their kids, the other kids, the generations of that shit, hundreds of years. And we ain't even had one, not even a whole century of black people being fully free, had all their rights. Think about that. All the fucking racist laws that's still in the books now. And motherfuckers are walking around. Well, we can go eat at the restaurants with the white folks. They let us make millions of dollars. So the fuck what? That don't mean that they won't discriminate against your black ass. Or any of you other minority people. Give less fuck about you. And I always keep telling you, who you think keep putting these people in power? The minorities. Us as black and minority people as one, we out. It's more of us than them. And then you throw a nice percentage of white folks with on us on outside with shit. We out. It's more of us than them. But you got minorities in the country that side with stupid shit. Culture war shit. Shit that doesn't even matter at the end of the day. Because I don't give a fuck what color skin you are. I don't give a fuck if you what race you are, if you racist or you're not. I don't give a fuck. Medicare for everybody. I don't give a fuck if you're locked up in the jail. Nigga, think about this. Motherfuckers in jail get better health care than we do. Actually, people, motherfuckers in jail get universal health care. They get free health care, nigga. They get, look, motherfuckers that commit crimes, that murdered or, did all fucked up shit, rapists, they get better, they get that shit paid off. We actually pay for their motherfucking health care. Everything free. Think about how stupid that we allow these motherfucking Congress people. Alexa, go back to YouTube.
Here is YouTube.
Just imagine that. We allow these white supremacists to tell us, make everything about a culture war. Everything in a culture war, dude. Some shit is just simple. Medicare for all should be simple to everybody. Your health means you don't have no fucking job if you dead. You can't go work if you sick. We sitting here debating about healthcare. Think about how fucked up we are as a country. We still sitting here debating about universal healthcare. We still sitting here debating about motherfucking infrastructure. We're just gonna cost us. It costs us everything costs us. Anytime they pass fucked up bills, good bills, whatever, all right bills, whatever bills it is, we pay for it. It doesn't matter. But we arguing over stupid shit. Culture wars. And minorities and black people fall for it all the time. Got these white people on sitting on TV telling me, if you're a Republican, fuck being a Republican, fuck being a Democrat, fuck being a conservative. Matter of fact, fuck if you are religious or you're not. It doesn't matter. Some shit does not matter. Everything is not a fucking culture war. It's about being a fucking human being. That's what we all got in common, is being a fucking human being. Fuck out of here, man. So sick of people, man. I'm just sick of just nonsense shit we argue about. We argue about stupid shit.
Wawa is your energy headquarters with new Red Bull Dragon Fruit beverages to power your day. Get a boost from the tropics with our Red Bull Dragon.
Goddamn commercial.
I'm gonna be the blackest person ever. So, so for me, it was one of those things of I had to learn how to be more respectful to their culture because I felt like they were trampling on mine so much. I went the opposite, almost militant black.
I'm stereotyped to the other side.
Baby. Yep. I'll be honest. Yeah, so I think Asian people are cool personally, right? Like I'll try to hang with them, because I love learning culture. So I'll try to go and have conversations or whatever. And sometimes it's just been this more standoffish, this is our group, and we have our own little thing going on. And so I feel for me, I was what's up with that, right? And so yeah, I mean, I've definitely had that pop into my head because it's something that you hear, and then when you see it, it's your brain automatically just pulls up that stereotype,
I grew up in a predominantly East Asian neighborhood, Arcadia, in San Gabriel Valley. But there's still this group of old white families there. They would say things, and I would, back in middle school, I would kind of repeat it, not really understanding, and oh, Asians are bad drivers. And be oh yeah, Asians are bad drivers. And then I'm no, that's really racist. Would I feel comfortable about somebody saying something like that about black people? No, I wouldn't. So I kind of had to
mind you, what she's saying is that they get us when we young. That's why listen, man. I always help you keep your people, keep your kids around your people as long as you can. There's nothing wrong with them going out and having other minority friends, especially I'm talking about white folks. There's nothing wrong with hanging around with certain white folks, but make sure your kids stay grounded amongst their people. Gotta stay amongst your people. Because that's what they do. You had these white motherfuckers that taught their white kids how to be racist. It's a generational thing. And some white people these days are getting angry because they being called racist for the shit that they say. Because listen, it's your history. It ain't ours. It's not, y'all are racist. Nobody ever called a black person in America racist. All of a sudden now black people are being racist. Because we're calling you out on your racism. Or because black people want their own shit. But when we tell white people, hey man, y'all got every motherfucking thing, let the black people get some of this shit. Why y'all making way more money than us? Why y'all getting these better jobs than us? Oh, you just got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Oh, but when black people say, oh, we just got some shit, we want some shit for us. Oh, we racist now. We discriminating against white folks. When black people walk through nice neighborhoods in a white neighborhood, why are you here? You don't belong here. No one has a problem with that. But if black people tell you don't belong around here, don't come around here, all of a sudden, it's, oh, you're being racist, you're discriminating. Man, get the fuck out of here. You can't have it both ways. Because I told you. Listen, white people, you're not even really good at being racist. You're not even good at discriminating against people anymore. Because we see you coming from a mile. Some of you white folks, we see you. You're not even good at it anymore. I told you, if black people was ever on a level of that type of hate that y'all have for other blacks and minorities in this country, we would, man, you talk about us for a couple of 100 years of being, man, we would enslave you, man. We would never let you get power. We'll never. Especially if we know what you already had did to us. We would never let you, we would kick all y'all asses out. Send you back to where the fuck you actually came from. Go over there with the queen since you want to defend the queen. Fuck out of here, man.
My parents didn't hang out with anybody else than themselves because it's that immigrant mentality. You kind of stick with each other to bring each other up because you feel as if you're other. You want to succeed in America. So if you've got a friend who is a mechanic, you need your car fixed, you're gonna go to that guy because you speak the same language, and so you're around the same kind of people. I think that
first of all, this is the difference between black and Asian people and other minorities. Nigga, we don't give a fuck. We go to Jose, we go to Mama Kim, we go anywhere, nigga. If the price is good, we go. We ain't discriminating, nigga. We don't, you know what I'm saying? That's how it is. We go to Junebug and them down the street at the barbershop, nigga. We go there. Put it like this. The one thing that black people are strict about, one thing that, call it whatever you want to call it, one thing we strict about, nigga, we only fuck with black barbers, nigga. We only go to black barbershops. We don't be fucking around with other races of people barbershops. That's the only thing that we don't fuck around with. You won't, listen, if you catch black people in other minorities barbershops and shit like that, that is rare. That is very rare. You will not see a black person go into any motherfucking other minority barbershops, nigga. We don't do that. We don't motherfucking do that. That's just something that we don't do. Even when it comes to black women going to get their hair done, nigga, they may go get their weave and all that other shit from the Chinese and the Asian people and shit. But nigga, to get their hair done, they go fuck with Siobhan and them down the street, nigga, get their shit done at they salon. We don't play about our hair. I know that shit. I know it's cheesy, but that's just how we are. We don't fuck around. But anything outside of that, we'll go anywhere. We'll try anybody's food. We'll go anywhere. That's just how we built. But you heard it. That's how Asians are. They stick together. That's what they do. Black people, we want to just get along with everybody. We ain't got time to be sitting out here. There's too much energy. We don't, man, listen, we fight amongst each other too much to be worrying about other motherfucking races of people like that. Real talk.
Definition of other is really scary because when you don't know what that other is, you start to make up what you think that might be, and that could be completely wrong.
It's not what you make up, it's what you've been taught. And I keep telling you this. It's all about what you've been taught. See, I've been taught at a young age. Mom was on that sugar, aunts, uncles, everybody on that sugar, they alcoholics. But the one thing that I learned is not to discriminate against anybody. I never learned how to hate people. Seriously, I don't give a fuck. I never learned how to hate my own people. That's why I could never be a sellout. I was never raised that way. And by me being poor, this actually was good for me because it's a lesson. So when you do have something, you know how to treat other people. If you got something, you don't shit on other people. You try to help other people out as best as you can. You don't shit on them because you making it, you got it. There's lessons I learned. But I never was taught how to hate. Even police. I don't even hate police, nigga. I dislike them. I don't, it's more of a trust thing. I don't trust police. And that goes for, listen, and I mean this in no disrespect to any other race. I don't trust other races of people. But I'm not going to discriminate against you because I don't trust you. I don't trust your race. Like I said, you show me the positive energy, the respect energy, I'm going to show the shit back. But you get out of pocket, and I'm already going to have my guard up. And let me just explain something to you. I wasn't raised that way. I was raised to accept everybody. What up, 7-9, baby? I wasn't raised that way. I wasn't raised to hate people, to have my guards up against different races of people. You know when I had to start doing it? In the last 6 years. That's how I've been feeling in the last 6 years. This is how I've been feeling. Like, my guard is up on all. If you ain't black, my guard is up. I don't fear my people. The bad ones, the good ones, the alright ones. I don't fear none of my people. Fuck I fear my people for. I know my people better than anybody else outside of my people. I know my people. I know how we get down. I know how good, bad, and ugly. I know all that. I know everything. So there's no reason to be afraid about it. I move a certain type of way when I'm around my people. But you know what? When it comes to other races of people, nigga, I got my guard up. I don't trust none of y'all. But that don't mean I'm going to discriminate against you, not show you proper respect, and none of that other extra shit that white supremacists does and some of your own people do to black people. And I want to make this very, very clear to all the other minority people in the world. When black people sell out, we don't fuck with them. Remember that. So when you see Candace Owens out there, we don't fuck with that bitch. And you may see a couple of black people bigging up. We don't fuck with them either. We don't rock with them. We've been telling y'all this shit for years. And just because you see a couple of niggas gangbangers don't mean every black person is a gangbanger. We've been trying to tell y'all this for generations. Now all of a sudden y'all want to use our shit now. All white people, all Asians like that. Black people, we know that. Y'all just figuring that out. We already knew that. We already been saying that already.
Lesson I got when I was a kid from my dad was that your job is not to understand a culture, but respect the culture. And when I was young, I didn't really realize what that meant, but it had a profound impact on me. And I never saw that I was different. I wasn't treated I was different, and I think this is a minority. I don't think this is the case for everybody. But for me, because of that lesson before that I've had all throughout my life, and when I got there, I understood that as a culture and I respected it, and I think there was a vibe that came from that too, right? I was able to receive and I was also able to give. And I think because of that, I was able to not have that as I grew older.
actually growing up, I thought my brother was black. Because he had a lot of black friends, all I saw was his black friends, is all he hung out with. So I would go to school and say, hey, I have a black brother, you know, trying to make friends. Like, I was so adamant, and then, like,
That's
my mom...
an interesting way to make friends. I'm just like, okay.
No, listen, she not lying about that. I told you, I grew up with a I think he's from Germany. He was my sister's boyfriend. I grew up with this nigga. Grew up with this white boy. And this motherfucking white boy talked like black people, walked like black people. I even had a period of time back in those days let him call me the N-word. Because he grew up in the neighborhood. That's how that should be. That's how open black people are. Listen, man, she not lying about that. She probably really truly thought that. That white boy that was with me, he really thought he was black, nigga. He had his hair cut like us, wore his clothes like us, talked like us, everything. He ain't see himself as no white boy. He probably didn't like his motherfucking parents. He couldn't stand his parents, nigga. I'm trying to, listen, black people have an influence. It's just how we use it. You get what I'm saying? Now, I look back at it, yeah, I shouldn't have been never letting him call me the N-word, but I'm young, I'm stupid. I don't know no motherfucking better. I'm walking around, ain't nobody else black got a problem with him saying the N-word, so, hey, I'm good with it. And like I said, if I fought, he fought. I'll bust that thing, he bust that thing. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, he was my sister's boyfriend at the time, so, you know, he was cool. He was cool with me. But he couldn't call me that shit today. I smacked the dog shit out of him. But anyway, because I know better. That's the difference. I know better.
It's like 8 or something. I was like, yeah, my brother's black, so I was like, cool. Like, I never had any bad ideas about black people. It wasn't until I started, like, really watching the news that I learned, oh my gosh, like, you know, they're getting stereotyped for things that I've never even seen a black person do. I feel like they
and I told you, she said she started watching the news because her parents raised her right. Big up to those Asian parents for raising her right. But until she started watching mainstream media, how they predict how black people are, the stereotypes of how they say like all they show was us. Only time, you think about it, back in the day, only time they would show white people really committing crimes, unless they killed the police officer, or, you know, they bombed the building or some shit like that, or they went on, you know, they killing sprees. But they never would talk about how white people would go in their house and kill a whole family. And then commit suicide. You rarely seen that shit. And that shit, and believe it or not, that shit is out there. They wouldn't go report none of that shit. And even if they did, it wouldn't last long. But if you had a black person did some shit, like the little 7-year-old girl that got killed in the drive-thru, nigga, they been talking about this shit for a minute. And they gonna talk about it the next week and the next week after that. But you telling me that John went in his house, killed everybody in the house, and killed himself, killed the kids too. Killed kids too. And it all comes off, it makes it seem, and then a lot of white mainstream media try to play this role of like, they putting it out there and they pushing this shit so much because they care about the black community. No, they don't. No, the fuck they don't. Because if you did, you would be consistent about every race that does shit. Listen, every race, every day has committed a crime, has killed somebody. It's a fact. But the only thing they focus on is black folks. So it put this stereotype out there. If you watch mainstream media enough, if you're a minority, you think black people are just violent. We cruel. We don't give a fuck about nobody. And don't get this shit twisted. Black people as a whole, we got a different slang. Our slang is different. Our cultures is different. So you may run into a black person that talk like a gangbang or talk like a motherfucker that come from the street, but ain't in the street. We got street mentality. We may grew up in the street. Motherfucker ain't popped the gun in the day in his life. Ain't did nothing criminal. But he come from that neighborhood. Doesn't mean that he's like those motherfuckers. He ain't like the killers. He ain't like the gangbangers. But that's the narrative that mainstream media put out there, and minorities eat that shit up, and then they have this look of how they look at black people. Let's move on.
We kind of have a superiority, almost like white privilege, but in reality we don't, because we do struggle with the same issues.
I think some of my
What up, Talking Media? What up, bro? Hey, we gonna do a game. I'm gonna come on your live stream soon. We gonna do a game.
assumptions about Asian Americans are that they aren't necessarily fond of black people, or if they're not, they don't have any feeling one way or the other. They just prefer to be with their own. Not that I fault them, because that's how a lot of different races are.
Listen, I'm like homegirl. I don't fault nobody. If you're a different race than me and you want to be amongst your people, I'm fine. Just don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me and mine. That's it. That's what I'm trying to get black people to start doing now. Man, mind our business, man. Stay amongst our own right now, nigga. We ain't safe out here in the field. Stay amongst your own people. And if we got to deal with people outside our race, we deal with them. We stay alert. Make sure we got our guards up. I don't got a problem with no race of people. I don't. I really, truly don't. But at the end of the motherfucking day, man, I'm okay with being amongst my own. I love my people. Everybody copy our style. Everybody copy our culture. Everybody want to be a part of what we do. So, nigga, I know my people good. We the culture. I keep telling y'all that. America ain't shit without black people, nigga. Just think about it. They ain't have black people being slaves. Who's America? America, nigga, we fought in every war. If black people ain't fighting all these wars, America probably would have been got taken over from the British, nigga. They'd have been overtook America. Well, black slaves, we ride it. Our people ride it. We was in the field. We holding America down. So when black people tell y'all motherfucking white society, even if you wasn't a slave, even if your grandfather wasn't a slave or your daddy wasn't a slave owner, it doesn't matter. You owe us reparations, bitch. We need our money. We need our paper. We need the land that you stole from us. We need it all. And until we get it all, ain't no motherfucking, we gonna keep calling you white racist pieces of shit out. And all the white people that pretend that they ain't racist turn a blind eye to the injustice that goes on with black people in this country. We're gonna continue to keep calling you out. We're gonna continue to keep calling you racist. That's what we're gonna do. Keep calling you white supremacists. Because that's what you are. I didn't say all of y'all, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Give us what you owe us. Well, I ain't never owned no slaves. First of all, you wouldn't be able to own me, bitch, because I'll kill your ass. Hey, you couldn't own me. I'll kill you or you'll kill me. However it look, it doesn't matter. You won't own me. I told you. If black people do their history, the reason that a lot of our black people stayed slaves and was scared to run with Harriet Tubman back in the day is because a lot of them niggas couldn't read. Them niggas was, and no disrespect to our ancestors, they was dumb. They not read right, they know nothing, nigga. All they know is how to be a slave. Come on, man. That's why it's insulting to me when like Kanye was talking about, oh, they chose to be slaves. Nigga, that's all they know. That's all they knew. The fuck? They didn't know how to read, write, nothing, nigga. They didn't never think for themselves or nothing. The fuck are you talking about? None of them knew. Yo, when you don't even have a mind of your own, nigga, like your mind, think about how a lot of our ancestors were. None of them had minds. Like they was being controlled. They was like robots, nigga. They didn't know nothing. No, master not gonna like if we run. No, and then you gotta think about the people that did want to run. They had families. They was scared to take their families and run away. Had children and shit. They done made examples of other black families, brothers and sisters, of when they run, to put the fear in them. And then this bitch nigga ass. Listen, I'm never forgiving Kanye West for that shit. Fuck that motherfucking nut job. You don't say no shit like that. And then you got in front of white people and said that shit. Nigga, what? Oh, fuck that nigga Kanye West. I hope Kim Kardashian take all this money, nigga. Alexa, go to YouTube.
Here is YouTube.
That motherfucker, man. The day Kanye West leave this earth, and I'm not saying I'm wishing death on this dude, but the day he leave the earth and I'm still alive, I ain't fuck that nigga. I'ma treat that pussy ass nigga just like how I treat any of them racist ass pieces of shit like Roger Ailes and Rush Limbaugh when they die. Fuck them motherfuckers. That's how I will treat Kanye West. The Candace Owens, all them bitches. They bad outweighs they good, nigga, and that's just is what it is. I've been told y'all that shit. If your bad outweighs your good, then you are a horrible person, and I don't give a fuck. Oh, my goddamn commercial coming up. God damn. Hold on, people.
In different ways. Okay, because COVID has hit the African American community hard in regards to us as patients. We are getting it the most. We are dying from it the most. I think it's hit us in that way, but it's hit Asian Americans in the way that you all are experiencing a lot of.
Let me tell you something. You know why it's hitting us that hard? Because black people don't know how to grow their own food. That's just real talk. In every hood, it should be a motherfucking garden somewhere where we grow our own shit. Our own fruits, vegetables, all that shit. That shit need to be grown where we are. We don't have none of that shit. Like all the black people, all the black farmers and shit. Black people need to be going to the black farmers and shit and get our motherfucking food in the South. In the Midwest and shit like that, man. We supposed to be going there. We don't supposed to be out here fucking with these grocery stores. Start grilling your food more, man. Stop using all that grease and oil and shit too. That ain't good for us either, man. We gotta be better and drink more water, nigga. God damn. Fuck. And then you gotta think about where our hoods and shit is. We in a bad environment far as climate change. Like we getting all the pollution and shit where we live. They put us in places where we get bad pollution. Fuck us up. We gotta think about that shit. Climate change matters. It really does matter to the black community, and I keep saying that. That's why I don't be understanding niggas, man. Climate change, nigga. Fuck climate change, nigga. What the fuck you mean? All them factories and shit right next to our fucking community. All that fucking shit going to fucking our kids up. Fucking our women that's are pregnant. You know, women that's pregnant and shit, fucking them up. They inhaling that shit. That shit matters. Climate change matters, nigga. Climate change is real. I don't know what the fuck wrong with y'all niggas, man. Letting these motherfucking white society racist pieces, some of these racist pieces of shit, the science doesn't matter. But these are the same motherfuckers sit there, say they skeptical about science, and they don't fuck with science. But these are the same motherfuckers, they get hurt, they go to the doctor. What you think science is? You think about it, you just think it's just about shooting rockets, motherfucker? In the air? No, nigga.
Overt racism that I think a lot of you may not have experienced before.
So I've been personally attacked, verbally attacked by people for being Asian. You know, did the protocol, I stood 6 feet apart, but they asked me to move further away because they treated me like I was just a full-on virus. I've seen my grandma get yelled at. That, I feel, is it's the Asians experiencing what Black people have experienced, although it's not the same thing. It's, oh, you're Asian, so you're a virus.
But hold up. The problem with her, I appreciate everything she's saying. The problem what she's not saying is that, say who said that. It was white supremacists, Donald Trump, and the white folks making this, and Republicans. You didn't hear Democrats come out. If they was white or black, you didn't hear them come out saying that. But you heard Republicans, even if they was black conservatives, or black, conservative, conservative minorities. They allowed that shit to be said. That was all, the reason that the Asian community got targeted like that was because of Republicans. You can't blame that on nobody else. Sorry. You can't blame that on a race. You can't blame that on, you know what we blame that on? Conservative people. Because they allowed Donald Trump to continue to say that fuck shit. And there was no consequences for him. Well, actually, it kind of was because it was mainly because he lost the election, but I don't think he lost the election for being racist. He lost the election because he fucked the COVID shit up. I told y'all that. That's the only reason Donald Trump lost, is because he fucked the COVID-19. I said if he continue to keep fucking this shit up, he gonna lose. Even him saying, oh, the election gonna be rigged if he lose. That ain't why he lost. Motherfuckers was going, listen, this nigga fucked the COVID-19 shit up so bad, it didn't matter if Donald Trump gave everybody $1 million. How you was gonna enjoy that $1 million if you're dead off of COVID? People was gonna get out and vote this motherfucker out there just off of their lies. This nigga was killing people. And I don't give a fuck what nobody say, and the Republicans as well. Because they backed this motherfucker. The blood is on their hand. Them 500,000 people that died so far, over 500,000 people that died, that's all on Republicans, nigga. It ain't got nothing to do with Democrats. If you are a Republican and you fuck with Trump and you're a Trump supporter, you killed those people. All you motherfuckers out here that still don't want to wear masks, you killed you killed all those people. The blood is on your hand. You can't blame nobody else for your stupidity. Even if you don't, listen, I don't believe everything about science. Like, you know what I mean? I'm skeptical about science. You should be skeptical about anything. But you see motherfuckers dying from this shit, nigga. Like, whoa, hold on. Listen, I just lost an aunt, dude. And it fucked me up, and I've been mourning ever since. And I recently just came back, and y'all know me, I'm starting doing videos now. Listen, man, that shit ain't nothing to play with. And motherfuckers say, oh, you taking this serious because your aunt died. Nigga, I've been taking this serious. I ain't been out of my house in a month. I mean in a month. I haven't been out of my house in a year. Like, I'm talking about going other places. Nigga, I went to work or I go home. If I had to go to a store, I was careful. And I had to really go to the store to get something. that I needed. Other than that, nigga, I'm ordering offline. Nigga, I don't go nowhere. I ain't been nowhere. I ain't even go to my aunt's funeral because I was sick and motherfuckers want to go and run and COVID-19. She just died from COVID-19. Motherfuckers come from other states and shit, cousins and family members come from, and these niggas live in Florida where Texas and shit, where, you know, these motherfuckers in Tennessee and these motherfuckers don't, you know, they not taking that shit as seriously down there. And then one of my cousins, he was just coming off of COVID, and he coming down here. Like, nigga, nah, man. And I wasn't feeling well. I wasn't going to no motherfucking funeral. Fuck out of here. I've been taking this shit serious. I've been 100 about this. So it ain't got nothing to do with my aunt dying. I've been 100 about this. People play with this shit. Even if you know that your immune system is good, you get COVID, you may not even know it. But what if you give it to somebody that immune system is weaker than yours and you give it to them? And you don't even know that you gave it to them. But it's possible that you could have gave it to them. How stupid and how inconsiderate of a person you could be. Because I want to go live my life. I'm tired of being cooped up in the house. Man, get the fuck out of here. You won't have no life. And other people may not have no life because you may be immune to the shit and you go out here and you give somebody else this shit. You don't know if you out here killing people. You don't even know it. You don't even know if that they getting this disease off of you because you may even have it. That's what was so dangerous about this virus. But you listen to Trump or you just walked around because you're so against government, because even if you're black, I hear black people talking. The fuck out of here, man. Saying the stupid shit. Like, man, take your stupid black ass away from me. Stay the fuck away from me. I don't give a fuck who you are. Give a fuck what race you are. You stupid like that, stay away from me, man. I don't even like people like that anyway. Alexa, go to YouTube.
Here is YouTube.
You know,
Small businesses and a lot of when I
Hold on, people.
My name is Paige, I'm 26, and I suffer from depression. For somebody who's been depressed since early preteen years.
when I open their books and see what they can do, I literally have to give them objectively, you can't make it. You have to pivot, and they don't know how to do anything else, right? And I don't want to compare, but these are immigrants who literally don't know how to do anything else. So what are their opportunities next? So from that perspective, yeah, I think our community has been hit harder.
I think I'm going to personally feel, just because of what I've seen happen this whole year surrounding
First of all, your community ain't get hit no harder because they only know certain traits. Well, what the fuck you think the black community go do? When the school system is not teaching the kids shit. They don't know shit. At least out of my era, nigga, I learned how to. I got a degree in carpentry, nigga. I have that. It ain't too many motherfuckers that even grew up my era know how to do carpentry, how to build shit. Motherfuckers don't know how to build shit. Nobody has a fucking skill. What are you talking about? In the black community, nigga, you better know how to play a sport. That's all that's in our community. And it don't mean just because you athletic and you good at high school don't mean you gonna make it. And he talking about we got hit hard. No, you haven't. No, you have not. They give your family loans. They will give your family other minorities. They will give other minorities loans to build a business before they give the black people. loans. Think about that. You don't have it worse than us. That's why I said don't compare your shit to ours. And don't try to act like your shit worse than ours. Ain't no minority outside of black people have it worse than us. You don't. It's just a fact. And stop pretending that you do. You don't. We can counter everything that you talking about as bad that goes on with y'all. We got that shit 10 times worse. It's just a fact. And it's not about playing victim, but it's just this whole notion that they try to say they shit worse than ours, or they try to compare that shit to ours. It's no comparison. And you don't have it worse than us. Because like I said, your race wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for ours. Be honest about that. Because if you know American history like you think you do, because all you got to do is read American history and you'll know exactly what the fuck going on. And I mean go deep in it. Don't just do the school shit that they give you in the schools. I'm talking about go off and research shit about white history. About American history. And you'll find out the truth. They teach you what they want to teach you in the schools just to keep you brainwashed. Fuck out of here.
I feel like there's been more disadvantage. But I know people that have been equally disadvantaged in terms of, you're Asian, but you're not American, and putting COVID on people or calling it the Kung flu or the Chinese virus. These are things that affect both of our communities.
When I first moved here, I took advantage of the beach and I decided I would wake up in the morning and go for a run.
First of all, that don't affect our community. It doesn't. When they was calling the Kung flu, that had nothing to do with black people. Black people should have mind their goddamn business and stayed out of that shit. Because like I said, it was shit that it wasn't enough Asian people out there for black people to be going out there sticking up for them. When we're talking about our marches or what happened to George Floyd and all our black people that fell to these these race soldiers. It wasn't enough of them. Like I keep telling everybody, you might seen more white people in some of those places, but it was a lot more black people than anybody. We was out there. We was in the field. We always in the field. And like I said, we appreciate that y'all join us and try to be allies with us. You don't get no credit for that. That's something that you should do. It's been way too long. We've been waiting on you motherfuckers to come out and ride with us. We've been waiting. We've been in the field. We don't owe you no thank you, none of that shit. You supposed to been there already. And it ain't just because black people got their own problems we dealing with as far as our issues, while we ain't riding with the Asian community. The reason that we shouldn't be there, y'all ain't out there with us. It ain't enough of y'all. We want to see some more numbers. We need y'all to speak up more. Because for generations now, a lot of minority people have been sitting on the motherfucking sideline watching black people for generations out that bitch fighting. We've been putting in the work. We've been marching. We've been getting beaten. We've been going to jail. The modern day slave plantation. We've been going there for generations. So excuse me if we don't want to pat y'all motherfuckers on the back or ride for y'all. Y'all seen the injustice that was going on with us. Y'all stayed silent. Just like the Chinese sister said. The Asian sister said, I don't want to rock the boat. I want to, I rock with the white people, so, I wanted to fit in so it wouldn't happen to me. Okay. But we don't owe you shit because you're riding now or you want to ride. It need to be more y'all, and you need to speak up more. How many times I've seen this shit? How many times you have seen white supremacists call black people niggas and different minorities, other races of people just stand there and don't say nothing? You even see niggas don't say nothing. They sitting there watching. Ooh. Cowards? You instigating, but ain't doing nothing. The fuck out of here.
Someone walked by me and started saying something to me, and I didn't hear him necessarily. It was an older black man, and he called me some racial slurs and had alluded to me being Asian, me being dirty and eating bats, and I'm the cause of COVID happening.
I face more racism from the opposite side than I do from white people.
Just me. I think it's true for me, but I think I'm a special case given the fact that the industry I work in. I work in the tech industry. I face a lot of just rude comments, ignorant comments, and just unnecessary things that are said to me by Asian people.
Hey, hold on. You remember what the Asian chick said, right? You remember what she said about the older black dude? We don't fuck with him. We don't fuck with him. Believe that. We don't fuck with him. Because if real black people seen his punk ass doing that shit, we'd have smacked the fuck out of him. We'd have jumped in his shit. Fuck you doing? And believe you me, he probably was an old, buck-dancing, coon-ass sellout nigga anyway. So we definitely would have stomped the mutt hole in his ass. See, I told you, black folks, we need to start taking care of our own people when they get out of pocket. If it got to get physical or we got to speak out. Either way, nigga, they supposed to get checked. So to the Asian sister or whatever, listen, we don't fuck with that nigga. And like I said, if it was some real black people around, we'd have stomped the mutt hole in this bitch ass. We don't fuck around with that shit. You sitting out there, you know, fucking with people because Donald Trump told you that nonsense, dumb shit. I swear to God, people stupid, man. I wish I was there and the old black dude said that shit. I'd have stomped the mutt hole in his punk ass. You ain't had to worry about getting upset about it. I'd have been pissed. Fuck you. Were you listening to Donald Trump, bitch? And your dumb ass gonna die. And he probably ain't had no mask on. A simple. Let's move on, man. I told you, I despise coon sellout niggas. Niggas that do stupid, ignorant shit. And then want to be racist and bigot and show bigotry to other races of people when you get discriminated against. How stupid is that? Beat the dog fucking shit out you, man. Get the fuck out of here. To all you coon ass niggas, you niggas hurt me, man. I told you I'm more angry at sellout niggas than fucking white supremacists. Cause I already know what I get from them. But my own people being fucking sellouts and discriminating against others and shit. Oh, nigga, fuck that shit.
I've had a few Asian coworkers that told me that the way that I talk is inappropriate. That my tone and my voice is inappropriate for the workplace and I need to change that. I need to become more Americanized. And he said, don't worry, nobody else is going to tell you that, but I'm going to tell you that. And I get that more from my Asian coworkers.
And mind you, if a motherfucker ever told me that, I would have told them, fuck you. Suck my dick. And then I might have to take that back because this motherfucker might be an inner closet alphabet person. He might want to suck my dick, a son of a bitch. I wish a motherfucker would tell me that. Fuck out of here. Bitch, I quit. I won't work at no job. It ain't no job that nigga, you tell me that I won't work there. Sorry. And you better hope I ain't in a state of mind that if I'll wait till your bitch ass get off of work and catch you slipping and beat the dog shit out you. Fuck out of here, man. Listen, black people, some of you black people and this new millennium, some of you new millennium, y'all a little too okay with motherfuckers saying certain shit to you, man. Fuck that. Shit, saying certain shit in my will get you killed. Fuck out of here, man.
And Asian managers than I do my white coworkers.
So the only reason why I didn't come up and agree is because I have experienced a lot of racism from Asians just because I lived in an Asian neighborhood, but I really think that's it. I've lived in a white neighborhood, predominantly white neighborhood. I've lived in a predominantly East Asian neighborhood. And personally, I prefer living in...
And mind you, when you say that as a black person, you live in all these different predominantly such, that means you ain't really grew up with a lot of black people. And when I say I grew up in the black community, I mean I grew up, ain't nobody around that bitch nothing but black, nigga. Ain't a whole bunch of white people around, and you know what I mean? Only white people I really seen like that, nigga, is when you went to the hospital or the police came around. Ain't a whole bunch of Asian people lived in our community either. They own the store or something. Nigga, they ain't living in our community. I grew around black folks. And that's the issue. You have too many of black people growing up and being in, you know, in predominantly Asian community or white neighborhood. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's why you accept disrespect from these motherfuckers. Fuck out of here, man. That's why they sitting here and they want to talk it out. Nigga, soon you get out of pocket with me on some racist shit, it's on. It's on, nigga. Ain't no hey, what to talk about? You want to fight? You want to fight? Let's move on, man.
In a predominantly East Asian neighborhood, because in my experience, they leave us alone. Like they're not necessarily like super neighborly, but I'm not really looking for that. Like the racism I've experienced from white people is so much more like in your face.
It's hard for me to hear these things because as somebody
first of all, and that's true. Believe it or not, Asian people don't fuck with you, but they can get nasty when they have stores and shit that you go to. That's when you get a real bad interaction with Asian people. But living in the community with Asian people, it's not like how white people be fucking with you. Because Asian community, even when you think about the Mexican community, they don't fuck with people. I got a whole bunch of Mexicans and shit live around, man. They don't be fucking with people. Seriously, they do their job like I said. I mean, they conversate with you in there. You know what I mean? Some work need to be done in your yard or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's the only thing they do, but you know, my interactions with a lot of Mexican people is usually, you know, shit they got to do in my yard that they already work at some place and they want to, you know, make some extra money on the side and do they shit, you know, get some extra money. Listen, that go for a lot of Latino people, man. They don't fuck with people like that, man. They not in the one thing about the Latin community, a lot of these minorities, they don't really fuck with black people like that. I mean, they can get racist and shit, be on their bullshit, but it depends what the circumstances. It depends what the situation may be. But white people are extra because they think that they run shit, they own shit. So she ain't lying about that.
So working, you know, I worked at a tech company before, and I'm always a manager in position. And to have somebody talk to someone like that, I don't think our community as a whole, this is not the representation. I don't think they would give the same respect that you guys are giving. And it's not right. It's not right. The fact that you can do that and give us the benefit of the doubt is so kind. It's I don't think we deserve it. And yeah, I overall think that Asian communities are very racist. Not only racist against just, there are a lot of interracism. There's a lot of South and East racism that's prevalent.
Yeah, that right there is irrelevant. We don't call it racism in the black community. We call it colorism. And we do that shit amongst each other too as well. So that shit is irrelevant to me. You get what I mean? Like, so like if you're gonna be, you know, listen, that's why I be saying about other minority people. Listen, you don't run into black people that listen, black people are not like that. We don't listen. We're very open. We're friendly, man. We like to, we like to have fun, man. We like to joke around and party and shit. We like to get to know people. That's how we is. That's how we get down. But listen, man, we okay. Listen, don't get it twisted. Black people, some of us are okay with not fucking with nobody. It's just this new millennium motherfucking black kids and shit that want to be a part of society. A lot of that shit, some of them starting to wake up to that shit, but a lot of them just want to be a part of society, man. They grew up around different cultures and races of people, and that's the trick too. Like they have all these different races of people living in the neighborhood like that, and they all poor. You would think that everybody would understand that everybody poor and nobody's better than nobody, but they done brainwashed every different minority of treating everybody differently. And that's usually what's the problem, what usually be the issue is. And like I said, black people usually are not like that. We don't usually have a couple of bad situations with a different race of person and treat everybody the same. We're usually not like that. It's very rare that we're like that. We don't take that shit personally like that. It's way too much bad energy for us to give a fuck about that shit and try to treat blanket everybody as a whole. We ain't like that. You ain't even gotta tell black people, hey, all of us ain't like that. We know. Like I be a little insulted about that a little bit when people say that we all ain't like that. We know that. Black people know that. It's that you motherfuckers haven't caught up to this shit yet. And I'm not knocking them for crying and shit, getting emotional. But he want to cry and shit. I'm so grateful that you don't treat us all. You don't see us all like that. Okay. We been that way. We ain't like that. It's rare that you see black people like that. That's not how we are. And like I said, that's the issue. If you knew black people like you thought you knew black people, you would know that already. We ain't nothing like that, my people. Let's move on.
Clear, black, white, there's racism a lot, but the fact that we are getting the benefit of the doubt that I know that you guys have never been able to get from this culture, and you guys are still having the compassion to do it, really, I think.
See, and you got to think about it too as well. Black people, we know good Asian people. We most likely do. We most likely know good white people. We might know good, good Mexicans and shit. We listen. We know. We know all of y'all ain't like that. Like we know that. Like there ain't nothing that like is new. Like you don't even have to tell us that. We know all of y'all ain't like that. But we know it's a nice high percentage of y'all that's some fuck people. Just like we know in our culture that it's some fuck motherfuckers in our culture. We know better. Come on, man.
I think it's a very important discussion to have, especially I think as an Asian American. I've seen a lot of hypocrisy come from our side, and I think I wanted to have an opportunity to talk in a safe forum about it.
Asian Americans are more advantaged than Black Americans.
Shit, everybody can't sit down.
We
nigga.
all agree.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think Asian American privilege is white privilege. I think a lot of my success and opportunities that I got was purely because of how people judged my skin color and ethnicity. They thought I was smart. They thought I spoke eloquently. They thought I fit a minority profile into their culture, whatever it may be. But I've never had a negative stereotype, which means I have an inherent advantage, which is the whole principle of white privilege, right? So I think I'd be very disingenuous in saying that I didn't get a lot of my successes or opportunities just because I'm Asian.
Yeah, I feel
And
like
see,
there was that whole.
and let me just say this too. Let's go to black people. The problem with black people, we've been taught to hate other black folks that has advantages that we didn't get, right? Like, it's almost like if you got somebody that talk like they don't have no slang, but they talk very proper, and they grew up in a different type of neighborhood, and they maybe got a different advantage than we did. We don't look at that shit and praise that black person or that black man or that black sister. We don't do that because we've been programmed and institutionalized to treat to any black person the crab in the barrel shit. Any black person that made it. Or they don't talk like us, they don't have no slang like us, they ain't black enough. That was some shit that we got institutionalized. That's one of our bad behaviors that we have as a people. So a lot of that shit is on us too. So in other cultures you don't really see that. They congratulate, they proud. We don't do that. Because we've been institutionalized. That's why I keep saying that they don't have the same struggles that we have. No minority have that because we deal with a lot of fucked up demons that we're dealing with from white supremacy. That we present out here amongst each other. We do a lot of shit to ourselves sometimes, but it's mainly because we've been institutionalized by white supremacy. And we think that shit is all good. I mean, not all good, but we think that's the right thing to do because we've been programmed that way. You get what I'm saying? Don't let no other black person. You a good nigga. You better than them. That's how that go. And then they get that black person that treat other black people like they ain't shit, and then the other black people that ain't as fortunate as that black or other black people that's in a bigger position and got more, we get resentful. We get jealous. We get envy. We envy by that shit. You know, we get envy in us. And so we start treating them a certain type of way. But that's all programmed through white supremacy. That we got programmed that way. And that we think that shit is still okay to do to each other. Like, I'm not mad at Candace Owens for her success. I'm mad at Candace Owens because she's selling us out for her success. She shit on her own people for success. That's why I'm mad. I'm not mad because of her success. To each his own. If that money is that great to you, fine. I'm glad you're doing good. I'm glad you ain't out here, grinding. Like, I mean, out here suffering like that. I'm good. I'm so proud of that to a certain extent. But then on the other hand, you think about, you living the life that you live in and not living, you living a little stress-free or living a good life, but you sold your people out to do it. That's what I'm angered about. But that's a slave mentality too. That's like, a white supremacist slave mentality that they put into black folks. You know what I mean? So we as black people, we gotta get better of understanding those things and not treating one another. When we see a brother and sister that talk a little different than us, talk a little proper, or they acting white. Nah, they just grew up a different type of way, got a different advantage, and it is what it is. But then if we kind of pro-black and a little too pro-black, a little too hood, we don't understand that shit. We can't accept it. If they ain't speaking our you could say our language to a certain extent, our slang. Oh, look at this nigga. He think he white. You know what I mean? We got to get out of that shit.
thing of good and bad stereotypes is really important. I would love some of those like good stereotypes. Like when everybody thinks you're a thug, or everyone thinks you're ghetto, or everyone thinks that you're somebody's baby mom, especially the age I'm at now. Like that are all negative stereotypes and does affect me. It does affect me in the workplace. I would love to walk into the workplace and everyone assume, oh, she's the smartest in the room, or she went to a UC, or whatever good stereotype that is associated with Asian people. I would love to have that. And that's an advantage in some way, because it allows you to have more opportunities where someone's making a quick judgment and they say, okay, who I'm going to work with. If they don't know you, they may pick that Asian person because there's already those assumptions that's already there.
So I do feel like East Asians actually
right. It's like the sister is right. Black people want to walk into a situation where have like other minorities that think that they, you know, they get the advantage because they already automatically think that they smart. Like that's not what black people get. That's why I said people can't compare that. Other races of people can't compare that shit. They already assume black people a certain type of way when we walk in the door. As soon as they see us, they already think we probably ignorant, stupid. You know what I mean? We don't know no better. We hood, ghetto. They already assume that. They already think that you ain't got no calm. They already think black people ain't got no calm, but they always think we on 100. You the angry black woman, or you the angry black man. Like it's a stereotype, but it's been promoted. Even with the young folks, even with the young white folks, some of them they think that because they've been taught that. So listen, like the sister said, I wish I can go into a situation like that, the way I got that advantage. It's not even an advantage. It's almost like it's being treated equally in some type of way. We wish we can go in there and we don't get judged automatically because of the color of our skin. Look at the black person. We got another ghetto person coming in here. And usually that's what happens. That's that whole notion of when they tell black people they don't like when black people they call black people aggressive because some of us may not tolerate, racism. You gotta watch your attitude. You gotta have a certain tone in your voice. You can't get a little, you can't have too much bass in your voice. That's stereotypes. That's some shit that they have. That ain't nothing new. That's some shit that they did like back in the day with our ancestors. It's just like the new. It's just now that people starting to realize it. It been there already.
Better than Southeast Asians in terms of because we're darker. Yeah. It's all at the end of the day. It's all in skin tone.
Yeah, I would echo that. I definitely think it's based off of skin tone. Yeah, if you're East Asian, Chinese,
the fuck about it. This young sister right here is just as light as this Asian sister right here. They the same fucking skin complexion. Same skin complexion. And no lie to you, the only reason that you would know that this Asian sister is Asian is because of, maybe her features. Right? But if you didn't see their face, if I didn't see their face, you would think they're the same person. The sister and the Asian sister. You would know they're the same. You would think they're the same.
And you have, in my opinion, more advantages than someone who's Filipino. Like my friend who was Filipino told me, oh, we're the black people of Asians. Yeah. So but I do think that Asian Americans have more advantages than black Americans because simply you all didn't have to go through the systemic oppression that African Americans have had to go through due to slavery. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think right. So that's what I'm saying. They came even if they talk about their parents and how they struggled in America, they didn't deal with what our grandparents or parents dealt with. That's why it can never be the same. I'm not saying they didn't come from a country where nothing happened. That's the reason they came over here, because their country was so bad. But it's not here. See, so the level of respect that other minorities that come over this country, they should have a lot more respect for black people. Instead of trying to stereotype us all. That's the issue. That's the issue for me. Listen. I'm not trying to say they didn't go through anything over in their country, but over here you can't compare your shit to ours. Not living in this America. We're not talking about what you came from. We're talking about over here. And believe it or not, even though you think that it's better and you got a better opportunity here in America, black people fought for you to have that. We fought for you to have the feel that you got a better opportunity here than your own country where you was being oppressed at. We did that for y'all as well. Not just us. So put a little bit more motherfucking respect on black people's name. That's all I'm saying. And stop comparing your shit to ours, because it's not the same.
Asian Americans that wouldn't be here right now and that would disagree are the people who bought into the model minority myth, because that was basically brought on to us as a way to somehow align us with whiteness, in the sense that, yeah, we're accepted because we're smart and we were hardworking and whatnot. And although that's that's all true, it's also saying you're a good minority, therefore there must be a bad minority.
Right.
And so that's wedging. When they want us, we're on their side. And then when they don't want us, then they push us aside.
I wonder often, as an Asian leadership in a big company myself.
Mind you, you're not talking, like, what you're hearing right now, these are not these not older generations. These are young folks. These are young folks. These are kids that's under 30 years old. So when a racist white person sit there, like Sharon Osbourne came out, I'm here to learn, I'm here to be taught. Teach you what? If these young minority people, these Asian people, can understand what the fuck going on in America, then they probably like first or second generation American. And you 60-something years old, and you still can't understand that? What the fuck is going on in America? You still need to be taught about how America runs? And how black people being oppressed in this country? We gotta teach you that? Nigga, please. I will never do that. Sorry, I can't do that. I can't do that. That's wasting time and energy. These are young folks that understand this shit.
Sometimes how people perceive of me, because I know that I'm articulate and I fit a lot of that stereotypes, but I also have a feeling that there's a very negative side to it. Oh, he's only this, or he can only be this, or he's perfect for this,
Accepted,
right?
But
Exactly. So that's a whole separate struggle, but I would rather have much of that as the negative stereotype for me than a lot of the stereotypes I think Black Americans get on a daily basis, where that's not even an opportunity.
I think because there's such anti-blackness in the Asian community, even coming from Asia, there's already a bias when you have these first, second generations. There's already that bias there. Yes. But then when they come here, they're taught that black is bad, white is good, don't be like these people. So you're already kind of forming this enemy type of
trying to fit in.
Yeah, you're forming an enemy based on what you're hearing. I even heard Asian people say uncool things to me because they're like, oh, you're black, so you're gonna steal. They'll follow me or this look at me and I'm like, am I gonna steal a 25-cent gum? Like, I'm not gonna risk it all for that, right? So I think it's just like that frustration of you see my skin as dirty and you also see my culture as dirty, and then people come over here.
First of all, you know the crazy shit about it, see, the problem is with people, because they had that bias, but the main issue is that every race steals, every race commit crime. But if you're not taught that way, then you will be a fucking racist. You will discriminate because you ain't. Listen, it's all about being taught. It's about you being taught. I keep saying that. Listen, man, nobody is born racist. That's real talk. Everybody has a bias, but nobody is born racist. Nobody. You discriminate against people because you've been taught to discriminate against people or to profile people or assume these things about certain races of people. You're programmed that way. You're taught that. That's not nothing that you're born with. No, listen, man. You know, listen. The real reason why we continue to keep having this issue with race is because of these old people. Let me just explain something to you. If you, let's just be real. Let's just say you cut off, let's say you got rid of, just say they just all went away. You take people from 50 and down around the world, you wouldn't have these issues. It may take probably maybe a decade or two to fix racism. That's how easy it is. It's not hard. It's not hard to fix this shit. But you have so many old racist motherfuckers that been privileged, and it don't matter what it don't matter what race it is to a certain extent. Because being oppressed is being oppressed. We know black people oppress black people. We know that. All you do, go look in Africa, nigga. Shit, look at America. Black people do it to black people all the time. We will side with oppressor than to side with the people that are being oppressed. So listen, if you took 50, the people that's above 50 and you took them out, they wasn't here no more. And it may take a decade to just fix race relationships. It wouldn't take this long. This shit could have been fixed. These young kids, it's the future. They know what's going on, man. They know exactly what's going on. They're not playing dumb and shit like that. They not pretending. If they're showing off young racist motherfuckers, then they know better. They know why they're racist. There's no way that they don't know. They accept being racist. So I said it's not rocket scientists here, people. It's not nothing that you can't comprehend. The shit is here. It's in your face. You know what it is.
You start pressing me in my country that I helped build, my family helped build. Like, it's that anger that's kind of there, and I feel like that adds to the tension. I don't believe Asian Americans are dumped on as much as African Americans are in America because they are a smaller minority. They're not the first thing that comes to mind.
Black and Asian Americans coexist peacefully.
This one's hard because I think the peace is due to the fact of not talking.
Yeah.
I don't think it's due to anything really but that. It's the fact that that's them over there and we're over here.
Yeah, I think we coexist peacefully, but that doesn't mean we're progressing together because we both are just minding our own business.
Yeah.
But we really shouldn't be because we're both living in the same society that is oppressing both of us in different ways. Mm-hmm. Why can't we open that door, have this conversation?
First of all, everything is not a conversation. And see, that's the niche. That's the issue. Look, a conversation starts something. That's okay. You start a conversation. But sometimes I don't have to have a conversation. If I see injustice to anybody, I have a problem. It's not about, I don't have to know your culture to know if you've been discriminated against. I don't have to know everything about your culture or know everything about your race to know what if somebody's discriminating against you or somebody's trying to hurt you because of the color of your skin. We don't need to have a conversation about that. It's not a conversation. It's about right and wrong. It's just is what it is. People, I don't understand why like people that listen. There's nothing wrong with having a conversation. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't need to have conversations a lot with other races of people. Wrong is wrong. Discriminating against other people because of the color of their skin is wrong. We all know that. That's not nothing that you ought to have a conversation about. Now, if you feel that it ain't wrong, then you are the issue. You really are the real big issue. You are the problem, really. You the one we fighting against. You the one the enemy. So I don't have to have a conversation with other minority people that may not feel like the racist person so you can understand my culture. Wrong is wrong. And like I say, when the black person say, who you calling a nigga? When we say that, you already know that should be wrong. And I don't give a fuck what generation, what race you from. You know calling a black person a nigga or a monkey and you ain't black, that's an issue. You already know that's wrong. It's not nothing to have conversations about.
And try and help each other as far as like helping each other's businesses, you know, working together. We never really see that, and I'm hoping for more of that, honestly.
First of all, that all sounds nice and delightly. It all sounds good. Listen, that's some shit that where we talk about when we actually feel like we are allies. I don't really care about that shit right now. I just give a fuck about people treating people with the proper respect and understanding what's offensive and what's right and what's wrong. That's my issue. I don't give a fuck about all that. We come together as allies, build businesses together. I don't care about that right now. Black people don't even get together and do black businesses together. So I'm not in a space right now to give a fuck about none of that shit until black people get their shit together. That's just real talk. So that's irrelevant to me. I'm just saying, my opinion.
So, I think we can coexist peacefully. I just don't think I've seen enough of it. I think that the culture that we're living in right now, everybody's trying to act like we've progressed so far beyond because we're seeing all this stuff on social media or there's certain things that are not socially acceptable. But
thank you, brother. Thank you. And that's the issue. Everybody, a lot of people in this country feel like, and no matter what race you are, but a lot of people in this country feel like we have progressed so much because of certain shit that you see. When we know the undertone of that shit is the reason why, listen, and nobody should be, listen, I keep saying this, nobody should be out here working 2 or 3 jobs to just survive. I don't give a fuck what race you are. But the problem with that is that it's more of black people having to do that, have 2 to 3 jobs just to survive. It's more in the black community, and it's been like that for generations. And every other race is over top of us of living comfortably or living a certain type of way, even educational wise. We last on the list in a lot of things that we shouldn't be last on the list on. Let's move on.
There's a problem with that. Because if we don't start talking about things that are potentially harmful that we have within us towards our neighbor, right? I can't love my neighbor effectively if I'm not honest with them. I think we need to start having more of these controversial conversations and being able to say, okay, you know what? I might have an offensive perspective, but at the end of the day, I need to get over that hump. So I need to be honest with you about some things that I might have had in my life and in my past so that not only can I progress, but I can grow. This has been such like an eye-opener just to me. Cause y'all some dope people for real. like y'all cool.
I'm blown away by the compassion that y'all continue to have, and I wish all Asian Americans and Asians in general can learn from that. And I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart.
What's up?
Okay.
Come on.
And see, that's the issue. See, and I appreciate them saying that. Listen, that ain't nothing. Black people been like that. We listen. We don't have. Listen, we have compassion for shit because we've been through the most shit. We've been through the most shit in this country. So we got compassion of a lot of shit. We have a good outlook on racism and discrimination and being oppressed than any other race in this country. Because it ain't just happened to us, it's still happening to us. And then mind you, it was just, on one hand, we just had, you know how strong black people are, man? Like, just real talk. You know how strong black people are? This is why I love being black. This is why I love being black. Because we dealt with one race of motherfuckers that mistreated us for hundreds of years. And still, some of them still continue to do it. Mistreat us, discriminate against us, oppress us. Right? But then we fought for all other different races of people to come here and actually make America what they said it really truly was. We did that. Right? And then other races of people come here, not all of them, come here and then they side with our oppressors. They side with the white supremacists in the country, and we fight those motherfuckers too. Now, strong black people are, man, just dealing with that shit. We deal with one oppressor, but then we got all other races of people that discriminate against us and side with white supremacy, and we fighting those motherfuckers too. We strong. Don't ever get that twisted. That's why I always tell black people, we ain't never, listen, yeah, sometimes we can become victims, but after a while, we get that fighting that dog in us, man. Cause we like that. We fight. Ain't nobody fighting harder and more in this country than we have. Nobody. No other race. We real in the field. Nobody can tell black people that we ain't shit. If you let a motherfucker make you feel like you ain't shit, then emotionally something is wrong with you. We are beautiful. We the most strongest people race in this country. Nobody could put up and deal with the shit that we have dealt with and fought for and fought against. Because if that was the case, it'll be a lot more of different minorities out there riding with us. No matter if it happened to them or not. They would ride. We did the protesters, nigga. We created this shit out there pushing for shit. That's us. We did that. We started that. No other race did what we did. All right, people. I'm gonna let people go ahead and call in. I'm gonna send out some links. If y'all want to get up in the building, man, send me something through Messenger, and I'll send you a link to get up in the building if I ain't hit you up. But we'll be right back. We're gonna go to a commercial. We'll be right back, and I'm gonna let some people up in the building. All right. Oh shit. Give me a second. What the hell am I doing? Okay, here we go.
Chill. Chisel. Fresh out of prison with a new vision. Trauma. Cartel route. Hey yo, I sold drugs, got caught. Jail time, been in brawls, drama with my peoples over the music. Done it all, we ain't seeing eye to eye. Only when it's time to ride. And still I gotta watch the peoples I keep by my side. Job is like a 9 to 5, even on the weekends. Cause niggas that you beefing with always trying to get even. All my language, get this right. I don't hate on you, you hate on me. Reason why I'm 5 steps ahead of these niggas. 8 to 3, food stamps, Waverly. I was doing amazingly, impatiently accepted whatever the system gave to me. Given what they paid to see. Had to take the stage down. Did the Black Eye remix, now take a look at their faces now. Tell them put their glasses on. Maybe try some bifocals. Just because I'm a 6-barrel rapper, homies, I'm not local. Let me show you. This show's N04. But it's hard to stack my cheese when you rats keep coming out your hoes. Facts.
I'm only half a man.
Thank you for having me tonight. I appreciate it.
Only half.
I could have been anywhere, but I'm here with y'all. I'm here with y'all. Everyone is looking dapper tonight.
Baby, since you've been gone.
Dog shit.
Back
then I didn't have much, but I had a pre-rolled Dutch, quarter water for my packed lunch. Hayes had my mind gone, everything exciting. We used to travel on the train just to get to Dykeman. And even back then, a nigga had a love for writing. Hooks, bars, and punchlines with the force of Tyson. Why do I go through the things I go through? I know, dude, money is the motive, pain up in the Pro Tools. I always had the wave, ice water, folk crew. Savage introduced me to the game and how to cope. Let's get it. I wasn't half the man I am in the current present. Transition to an adolescent. Loud up on my clothes, smell like effervescence. Used to cut class spin after they take attendance. Brushing my waves until they spin while I'm on detention. Opposition couldn't measure up. At this point, I was that nigga they couldn't level up.
Yeah. You already know Jizzle, man. Shout out to my kids, man. Jalen and Justice, man. Daddy loves you. I told y'all I was gonna be here from the moment you open your eyes till I close mine. I keep my promise. You heard? Hey yo, 48 laws of power. Tell Chris to drop a Jew. Life is like a chess game. Niggas plotting, watch all your moves. We gotta live righteous or reckless, brothers. We got to choose. Either way, we can't be stopped. Game over, copy cool. Must have been the cartel name, God. They got confused. Let's elevate to the highest level. What we got to prove? Million streams coming soon. Now it's time to show and tell. Nigga made this beat for me. Bet your pink slippy knows me well. Shout out to the beat gang. Hold it up in Buffalo for us to blow. We need more bills than we can muscle, yo. L.I. number 7. 3 is for the letter E. Change it up so people can get a better understanding. Knowledge and equality. All being born to God. Rep your heart. Truth speaks for itself. In my repertoire, that's bizarre. Y'all could be the kings, yeah. The deck of cards. What respect for you niggas is thinner than a Metro card. Now that's hard, nigga. That's hard, nigga.
I'm only half a man. You know I'm only half a man. Baby, since you've been
All right, people, we back. I sent out some links. See if we're right getting the building, man. I heard somebody in the building. Somebody came in. Hold on. Yeah, I sent everybody some links, man. Get up in the building. I sent out links to everybody, man. Come on up in the building. All right, we're gonna let people get up in the building. We right back, people.
Consider engineer and he do that. Didn't teach me no humble shit. Bought the Porsche with that monster shit. Got the ball, I start dunking shit. That's all I learned in these streets shit. That's all I learned in these streets shit. I was humble, now I'm a beast, yeah. I was humble, now I'm a beast. Some things it can scare you. I don't even know what to tell you. Then what the thief in the night say. On my knees, then I pray. Nah. Mad at a chick. And you fucked up, the world fucked up. They taking your check, you get no respect. You holding a tech, you holding a 9. These niggas be claiming they telling the truth, but a 9 out of 10 of they lying. Shit, you know they be taking their time. I just be speaking my mind. Shit from the grind. I come from the grind. I tell the time. They wanted to humble me. They want me to look up the sucker ass niggas. They know they up under me. Yeah, they know they up under me. Got the ball, I won't fumble it. Let my switch from the jungles, bitch. Didn't teach me no humble shit. Bought the Porsche with that monster shit. Got the ball, I start dunking shit. That's all I learned in these streets shit. That's all I learned in these streets shit.
What up, OG? You hear me? What up, OJ? OJ. I heard a little something. OJ. OG, gotta fix your shit, OG. I can't hear you, OG. Your shit ain't. We can't hear you, bro. Nah, fix your shit, OG. Hopefully we get OG back up in here, man. Cause OG tripping. We waiting on OG. We right back, people. OG, you there? I don't know why OG can't hear. OG, can't hear you, bro. Still can't hear you, bro. OJ. All right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to another live stream so we can get OG up in here, man. All right, and make sure everybody come back and we get up in the building. Leave your comments, hit that like button, support your boy. It's your boy Kenny, man. Peace and love to the world. We right back, people. Let me see.
Do you have an opinion? Do you want to be heard? Are you coming with real talk? Do you want to have an open and honest conversation? Opinions, but facts is where it's at. Ran by our man Kenny. Nothing's off the table. Sports, real life, politics, and everything in between. Join the most interactive channel. Real talk from real people, keeping it 100. Be heard. Don't let your voice go silent.